Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear students, from today we are going to start our third lesson of science, that is force and pressure. The series of lessons is going to be very interesting because the lesson force and pressure is related to our day-to-day life. The actions we are doing in our day-to-day life, like playing, walking, standing, sitting, we come across the concepts of force and pressure. We are using the concepts of force and pressure. So I hope it will be very interesting because it is related to our day-to-day life and it's explained with real examples. Here are some figures given to you in your textbook. Just open your book and on page number 14 these figures are given to you. Various figures are given. I have taken some figures here. So what do you observe? What do you observe in these three figures? What are you observing here? Three figures I have taken, and what are you observing? Just think of it. You can see that in all the three figures there is some motion or change in state, change in position of the object. है ना? In all the three figures, there is change in the position of objects, and there is also some interaction between the two objects. In first figure, iron nails are given and they are being attracted by the magnet. है ना? Means there is interaction between magnet and the nails, and also there is change in position, change in state of the nails. This type of force is called as magnetic force. है ना? In second figure also there is interaction between ball and the boy, and also there is change in position of the football. है ना? So this type of force is the muscular force because it is due to the muscles of our body. In third figure also man is pushing a car, means man is applying a force on that car. So what do you think? आपके दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है कि फोर्स क्या हो सकता है, क्या हो सकती है फोर्स की डेफिनेशन? आपके दिमाग में क्या आ रहा है? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? आपको क्या लगता है कि फोर्स क्या हो सकता है? एक्चुअली हम फोर्स कहते हैं कुव्वत, बल, एंड प्रेशर को हम कहते हैं दबाव. कुव्वत और दबाव, फोर्स एंड प्रेशर. सो लेट्स सी द definition of force. Force is a push or pull of an object, or we can say that it is a physical quantity that can change the speed, state, direction and dimension of the object. So क्या होता है कि force is a push or pull of an object. जब भी हम कोई चीज़ को खींचते हैं या लोटते हैं, धक्का देते हैं, तो we are applying a force on that object. If the duster is at rest and we are pushing that duster, then we are applying a force on that duster, na? So push or pull of an object is called as a force. In this figure we can see that the pieces of papers are attracted by the comb. When we rub the comb in our dry hair, electrostatic charge is produced in the comb, and when we take the comb near the papers are being attracted by the comb. So this is the example of electrostatic force. Means they change the position of the papers. जब भी किसी चीज़ की स्टेट या पोजीशन चेंज होती है, मीन्स उसके ऊपर कुछ ना कुछ फोर्स अप्लाई हो रहा है. In this figure, boy is pulling his dog, means he is applying a force on the dog. This type of force is called as muscular force because it is due to our muscles. In this figure we can see that a coconut tree is given and a coconut is falling down on the earth. Why it is falling down? Yes, everyone will say that it is due to the gravitational force of attraction. Yes, there is a gravitational force of attraction between a coconut and the earth. So In this figure we can see that a man is pushing a car, means man wants to change the position of the car. So we can say that force is a physical quantity. Physical quantity means a quantity that can be measured. Force का measure कर सकते हैं. It is measured in the units of Newton, named after the scientist Newton. So force is a physical quantity that can change the speed, state, direction and dimension of the object. It is a physical quantity that can change the speed, state, direction and dimension of the object. So how can we change the speed of an object? When we are riding a bicycle, someone is riding a bicycle. This is your bicycle. This is your bicycle. You are riding the bicycle here, and your friend has pushed your bicycle. Then what will happen? The speed of the bicycle will increase and you will fall down, है ना. आप बाइसाइकिल चला रहे हो और आपके फ्रेंड ने आपको पीछे से धक्का दिया. He has pushed you. Then the speed of bicycle will increase and you will fall down. है ना. So this is a type of force. This is a force. So force can change the speed of the object. It can change the state of the object. If something was initially at rest, then by applying a force on it, we can change the position, we can change the state of the object. How can we change the direction of the object? If you are playing cricket is your favorite, I know. It's mostly cricket is a favorite. You are playing a cricket and let's see this figure. These are two persons. This is a fielder. It has thrown a ball and you have just hit it. The ball gets changed its direction. This was fielder. Fielder has thrown a ball and you have hit the ball from your bat. Then the ball will change the direction. So you have applied a force. You have applied a force on the ball through your bat and ball has changed the direction. So it has changed the direction of the object. Okay. How it can change the dimension of the object? If there is some sponge and you have pressed the sponge, you have pushed it, then it will compress down. So this is the example of force. Means you are applying a force on that sponge. It will change the direction. Now we will see the formula for force. Now we will see the definition, the formula for force. What is the formula for force? So we have seen that when the force is applied, the position of the particle is changed. Position of the particle is changed. Means here is some particle of mass m. When the position of the particle is changed, means it has accelerated. It has some acceleration. So what will be the formula for force? Force is the product of mass and acceleration. Force is the product of mass and acceleration. Okay. Mass into acceleration. Actually, force is a vector quantity. It is written as bar, F bar equal to m into a bar. Vector means it has some value and it has some direction. So it is a vector quantity. Force is a product of mass and acceleration. Now unit of force is in what unit we measure the force is Newton. SI unit of force is Newton and CGS unit is Dian. Whenever we write Newton, we can write the full Newton or capital N, and CGS unit is Dian. Okay. Now we will see the concept of contact and non-contact forces. So dear students, observe the figures given here and tell by your own that which forces do you think that it will be contact and it will be non-contact forces. What do you think is में से कौन से contact forces और कौन से non-contact है? Yes, you will say that the latter three figures are contact forces, because there is a direct contact between the dog and boy, direct contact between the ball and a boy, direct contact between a man and a car in these three figures. So whenever we are applying a force through a direct contact between the objects, direct contact with the object and between the two objects, if there is a direct contact, then we can say that the force is a contact force. Okay, simple definition of this. Now observe these three figures. In this figure we can see that the papers are attracted through the comb, even though the comb is not touching the papers, but papers are being pulled by the comb. So this is an example of electrostatic force. Such type of force is known as a non-contact forces, because there is no direct contact, the comb is not touching the papers, but the papers are automatically pulling towards the comb. So electrostatic force is an example of non-contact force. In second figure also, iron nails are attracted through the magnets. So यहाँ पे डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट है कि नेल्स एंड मैग्नेट के बीच में? नहीं, देयर इज नो डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट बिटवीन द मैग्नेट एंड नेल्स. मैग्नेट इज not touching the nails, but nails are attracted by the magnet, so there is some force and they are pulling towards the magnet. Such type of force is called as a non-contact forces. So magnetic force is an example of non-contact force. In this figure also, the coconut is falling down to earth due to the gravitational force. Even though there is no contact between the earth and the coconut. कोकोनट इतने ऊपर है, अर्थ इतने नीचे है, तो कुछ डायरेक्ट कॉन्टैक्ट तो है ही नहीं, फिर भी कोकोनट इज अट्रैक्टिंग टुवर्ड्स द अर्थ. So gravitational force is an example of non-contact force. Clear? Now we will see the definition of contact force and non-contact force. When a force is seen to act through a direct contact of the objects or via one more object, such a force is called as a contact force. Okay, जब भी डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट होता है, दो चीज़ों के बीच में डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट होता है, या फिर किसी चीज़ के ज़रिए से कांटेक्ट होता है थ्रू वन अनदर ऑब्जेक्ट. फॉर एग्जांपल, हियर द बॉय इज पुलिंग अ डॉग थ्रू रोप, सो देयर इज अ डायरेक्ट कांटेक्ट बिटवीन dog and boy through this rope. Such type of forces are called as a direct contact forces. Okay, now non-contact forces means there is some type of interaction, some type of force between the two objects, but two objects are not in direct contact, they are not physically in direct contact, so such type of forces is called as the non-contact forces. Now use your brain power. I am giving you the homework that in your copy make a table like this and just think over it about contact and non-contact forces around you and make a list of them, that which forces will be a contact force and which force will be a non-contact force. Like muscular force is the force that we apply through our muscles while pulling, pushing. Which force will be contact and which force will be non-contact. Just observe the phenomena around your surroundings and make a list of them.